In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can use to gain an unfair advantage in the music industry. So if you don't want to end up as a starving artist, but actually create something meaningful out of this, make sure to stick around, because especially the second way that I'm going to show you here is very unexpected but super helpful. Now, my name is Philip from Pick Yourself, and I've created this channel just to help you create a meaningful life based on your passion for electronic music and music production in general. So if that is something you're interested in, then make sure to subscribe. There's going to be much more helpful content in the near future. So today we are talking about how to gain an unfair advantage, and I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can use. And the first one is become a hyper executor and an implementer. So the people who match this criterion are the people who go from learning something to implementing something in a matter of seconds. So you watch a YouTube tutorial and immediately you try it out in your DAW instead of watching 10 more tutorials. You buy a course, for example, and not one of the cheap ones, one of the actual more comprehensive ones, more difficult ones. You buy a course, and instead of just watching all the lessons and consuming the content, you actually implement it on the way. Lesson by lesson, you really go from learning to implementation super quickly. And you just don't wait for everything to be perfectly in place. Now, the people that go the fastest from learning to implementation are the ones that are going to succeed, especially over a long period of time, because your skill building is just on a whole different level. Now, the second way, and this is the most unexpected one, is you have to become a go-giver. Being a go-giver means that you care more about the value that you add to others compared to the value that you receive from others. You simply get away from this thinking of what can I draw from this, what can I get out of this. You care more about what you can add to others, and automatically, thanks to the principle of reciprocity, you will receive much more than you ever thought was possible. Now, I didn't believe this was true for many years. I was just thinking, okay, people are just going to rip you off. But this is actually not true. The absolute opposite is true. The more you give, the more you will receive. I've seen this over and over again. As soon as I started, for example, putting out helpful content in form of my podcast, the Pick Yourself podcast that I started a few years ago, I got so many requests by artists who needed my help simply because I had already established that trust for free without asking for anything, so that it was super easy to then move into other fields. And with a certain level of trust, there's also a lot of opportunities being unlocked thanks to that. But this also applies to your connection to other artists. Sorry, my dog's going crazy again. This also applies to your relationship to other artists. William! Which means that you don't see them as competition, you actually think of them as collaborators, as people that you can help in some way. So if you adopt this mentality, which is much more positive, you are going to make a tremendous difference in your artist career. Now, the third and super important way here is that you have to be in this for at least a decade. You have to choose to be the kind of person that can do this kind of thing for 10 years at least. Most people don't have that horizon. You are setting yourself apart immediately if you can think of those long time spans. And the great thing, the reason why you get an unfair advantage from that is that you think differently about every situation. If you encounter something that's difficult, an obstacle, or if you fail at something, you just see this as a small, tiny step on your 10-year horizon. Whereas if someone just focuses on what's happening in the next year, and then their release crashes and doesn't give them the feedback that they were hoping for, well, guess what? They will think that their career is over because they haven't been thinking on in a longer time scale. So being in this for a decade and choosing to become the kind of person that can do things for such a long time, this will set you apart from many other producers and artists out there. So let me know if you found this useful and what you think about this concept. Leave a comment below. I'm happy to hear from you. I read every comment, by the way, and I respond to comments in depth if I find that they are worth the discussion. So let me know. I'm happy to hear from you.